In all that you've done to me, I can't find the meaning. 'Cause you know the way I feel for you is so strong. So why would you hunt me down and then leave me bleeding when you knew that you loved somebody else and had not moved on? My God, I should have seen it coming. Turned away, kept running. I should have seen the warning signs. My God, loved you, you loved another. Why did I even bother? cannot believe you said we couldn't get much higher. To trust your persuading eyes was one big mistake. But I know that you get burned when you play with fire. And I see how hard it will be not to turn love to hate. My God, I should have seen it coming. Turned away, kept running. I should have seen the warning signs. My God, loved you, you loved another. Why did I even bother? There'll never be you and I. There'll never be you and I. My God, I should have seen it coming. Turned away, kept running. I should have seen the warning signs. My God, loved you, you loved another. Why did I even bother? There'll never be you and I.
We're back. We have another live stream. Right, let me go to going off. Okay, who's here? One person, but you know what? It's a good one. Oh, I need that because my folder is untidy and so annoying. Yeah, I think that's the same for everyone's mod folder, to be honest. Like, I know mine's a bit all over the place, and it would be useful to like categorize the sceneries versus their planes, and you know, like mods that are multiple parts and say multiple folders and like whatnot. You could put all your peers into one area, or you could put like all your GA scenery into one area, and run stuff in another area. But anyways, let's get cracking here with this citation flight. So you know the drill by now. I've flown citation a lot of times on the stream. We're at Southampton at the business. Well, this is actually the cargo area, but at Southampton, the main terminals, which are up further this end, I'll show you. These ones are mainly used for commercial flights, like scheduled British Airways, stroke Jet2, stroke whoever's operating out of here with like a bigger aircraft. So business aviation tends to use the cargo apron down this end, these two hangars and these stops here. Particularly, I'm on ramp 13 today, and so as I say, you know the drill. We're going to power this puppy up, and then we're going to take it up to Dundee, as per your recommendation, Airbus. So I'm wondering if the ERJ group is saying Friday for release or Friday for the date of announcement. Reminds me of a scene from a TV show I really like watching. Like, basically, there's a guy and he's trying to get another person who's like more important than him to tell him the date on which something's going to happen. Can you give me the date? No. Okay, can you give me the date on which you will announce the date? Maybe that's that, who knows. And confirm C250 parked in this area when I was down there a month ago. Oh! Handy to know. I don't think I've ever seen one of these in real life, so nice to know. Anyways, avionics to dispatch. There we go. Rid of that voltage warning right then. And we all know how to do this by now, so pausing it. Set. Then we'll go to index and I'll do a sim brief import to save myself some time here. I'm also going to connect to VATSIM just while I do this. Okay, we are on the network. Looks like Heathrow's finally logged on a bit later than planned, but never mind. EDN, that'll be Edinburgh. It's an NDB and it's in England. There we go. Or 55 west, 3 degrees. Okay, we'll take that one. And let's just check the legs page. All looks good. Direct to Norrie. Okay, so are we on the Norrie departure? Don't know. Check my flight plan here in Navigraph on the iPad. Create. Import from SimBrief. Golf Hotel Indicate. Golf Papa November. There we go. And we are... Oh, we don't have a departure. No Sid today. Straight to Norrie on the flight plan. And then there's no arrival into Dundee either. No Sid and no Star. That's unusual for us. Right then. So we can just execute that straight out the back then. No need to panic about that. Why is this not executed? There we go. I don't know why that took too. Oh yeah, by the way, Navigraph is built into the tab. Built in. Oh yeah, Navigraph built in tab is much improved. Are you meaning the one that's in the aircraft here? This one. That way you can look at the chart for the airport. I would like it more if you could toggle between light and dark mode, because in light mode, in the middle of the night, this is really bright. But as of now, I don't know a way you can do that. Which is a bit rubbish, but hey ho. It's just like the rest of the panel is black, so it would make sense to have this all as like negative dark mode almost. No, the in-game MSFS. Oh, okay, I haven't got the mod for that yet, so I haven't looked. I'm quite happy using it on the iPad. It's like, if I wasn't streaming, I'd have it here. And as I am streaming, I also have it there, but I'm also looking at the chat. My Twitch app. But yeah, I don't really need the charts, to be honest. What I need is my my notepad, because we're going to get our clearance in a second. There's the notes. Big pull Twitch into the other. Great format is like this particular model of iPad is I can do a split screen, so I can have Twitch on one side and my notes on the other. Also, Flyby released the V2 EFB and it has Navigraph integration and VATSIM coverage. That is fantastic. Navigraph, fair enough, but to get a VATSIM integration in there too is really good, especially for like more die-hard pilots. Scribble out all of this. Okay, so let's take some notes of where we are and what we're doing here. We are at ramp 13 at Southampton. We are Golf Hotel Echo India. It has so much stuff on there. No, we works flawlessly. I'm genuinely thinking of doing some like an A320 stream in the near future, but I have no idea how that thing. There's just so much to do. And honestly, like the more I use this airport, like this is still better than default. Don't get me wrong. Like these textures, come on, Orbex. Like I know I only paid £6 or £7 for it, but that's because it was on sale. I don't actually reckon this is really worth the full price. Some of these textures are a bit lacking. Like look at that. Yeah, not great. Anyway, it'll do until someone comes along and makes a better version. But anyways, yeah, we go for Golf Hotel Echo India. We're ramp 13, and we don't have the ATIS, but we can get the meta. So index data link. Weather request, and we'll go EGHI in there. And because I'm not going to get an ATIS when I get into Dundee either, I'll go EGPN and put it in there as well, ready for later. So you can send. Now we go back, view this weather. Here we go. Right, so meta. I'm going to put meta on my iPad. MET. It's 14th of June, 1750. 14th of June, 14th of July, 1750 Zulu. Wind is 310 at 08 knots. Bearing between 260 and 020. Visibility 10 kilometers. A few clouds at flight level 046. 24 is temperature, dew point 14. And the QNH is 1019. Fantastic. Right, let's start dialing some of those things in for takeoff then. So, perfect it first of all. 7 passengers on board today, and we've got 143 kilos of cargo. Cruising altitude is going to be flight level 430, so that's all good. We can go to takeoff and start putting in some of that data. So, the wind at 310 would indicate we're going to be taking off on runway 02. And it is a fairly substantial crosswind. It's not massive, but it isn't good by any stretch. So we're 31008 in there. Outside the temperature is 24. QNH 1019. then we can go next and send over these V-speeds. Done and done. A32NX is like any of the planes. Pain in the bleep to learn, but once you get it, you do it without even thinking. Yeah, I mean, it's the same for this, really. Like, this took me a good, like, maybe 4 hours to, like, of just constantly going through, like, one of Philbert Flies' review flights with the guy who makes it from Working Title. Just to try to, like, learn the thing. And I wrote down the checklist, even though, like, there was a checklist inside the plane. I thought writing it down and, like, would drill it into my head more. But now I can do this all without having to checklisting games, so handy. And yeah, this plane's second nature now. So, see the Honda Jet in development. I'm not even aware of what a Honda Jet is. You'll have to fill me in. What's a Honda Jet? And who's developing it? Is it like some niche third party, or is it like a proper developer that's like established? Anyway, so no departure, no arrival. Although we'll deal with the exact approach we're going to take later when we get close. I mean, we've got an ILS 09, but then if we're on 27, we've only got RNAV, which I believe is like an RMP, but I'm honestly not sure. I haven't flown many RNAV approaches before. Or we've got a localizer or an NDB approach. So maybe I'll go over NDB approaches Sunday, although they are pretty much like they are kind of like localizer approaches. You've got no glide slope, but you're doing DME from an NDB frequency. Yeah, it's just a case of taking what you know about doing a localizer approach and then extending it onto an NTB. But anyways, yeah, we're done on that page. I think we've done Perth, got the Meta. I think we have to call for clearance now. So frequency for London South is 125.
Press further climb.
There we go, we can hear him.
Unable to traffic.
Turn him down ever so slightly because he's loud. Right here.
Descend to 7 Kilo Whiskey, turn right, heading 110 degrees.
How's the volume for you on VATSIM? Let me know. Good evening, Pilgrim. This isn't Blood Bowl. It isn't, but I did look at it earlier on, and I think I will go for it, so...
Climb flight level 290, speedbird 950, Mike.
MDG news. Ooh. Volume's good.
Over to Unicom, have a good day. Speedbird 950, Mike.
Okay.
Go further, climb with Unicom, take care.
I think because we're in the sectors that's got Heathrow in it, we're going to be busy on the phone tonight. Might be difficult to get a word in.
Flight level 180, kilometer 25.
Easy, 8 Charlie Golf, climb flight level 100.
Climb flight level 100, easy 8 Charlie Golf.
London, good evening, Golf Hotel Echo India on the ground, ramp 13 at Southampton, requesting IFR clearance to Dundee as filed.
Golf, Hotel Echo India, can you please file a flight plan?
I will double check that, sorry. Is the flight plan not filed?
Under control, Condor 100 with you, descending 150 for Soppit and speed 250.
Condor 100 London, not to continue the speed.
I thought I'd pre-filed it, clearly not.
Continuing with speed, Condor 100.
They departing 1820, 1830.
Descend flight level 130 and we are maintaining speed 250.
It's probably going to be about an hour.
7 Hotel Golf.
Thank you, so break easy 2307.
Cruise speed will be about 400.
Further climb Unicom, take care, easy 2307.
43,000 feet. And then the actual notes. I'm going to need... Where's it gone?
Romeo Golf India 3 Papa Mike, flight heading 110 degrees.
Flight heading 110 for your 3 Papa Mike.
Descend 7 Kilo Whiskey, climb flight level 180.
Climb flight level 180, Lufthansa 7 Kilo Whiskey.
London Control, EC231, we'll with you at 4,000.
It's really busy tonight, isn't it?
Easy 8 Charlie Golf, blocked.
Easy 8 Charlie Golf, left turn 330 degrees, climb flight level 190.
Left turn 330 degrees, flight level 190, easy 8 Charlie Golf.
Okay. London Golf Hotel India, flight plan should be filed now, apologies for that.
It's still out. Oh, that's why, sorry, I don't cover Southampton, that's why. So continue with Unicom.
Alright, sorry to bother you, Unicom wanted to make thanks.
I
thought he covered Southampton! That's awkward, isn't it? Right.
Cover that, Unicom 1 thank you for support, bye-bye, kilometers.
So my flight plan was filed and I wasn't going insane, that's handy to know. Looking at the rugged top, Canterbury was such a nice dash than Umbro. Yeah, man. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm glad I bought it when I did and not when Umbro did them, because they are, as you say, much better. This is like quite a nice top, actually. Had it on for the football the other night, so figured I'd get one more wear out of it before it goes to the wash again. Right, we don't need to get for clearance because there's no ATC down here in Southampton, so I guess we can just go, right? So let's start up my engine. Whew. That was a bit awkward, wasn't it? But he didn't cover me. If you look at Volante, it looks like he covers my airspace, but clearly he doesn't. Unless it's like he only covers about up to a certain altitude. I really don't know. The good news is that we should have coverage from here most of the way to Dundee, at least up until sort of Leeds, and it's going to be Unicorn after that because there's no ATC in Scotland at the minute. Maybe it's Rochester Centre will log in, I don't know. Anyways. Got a lot to do now, really. I could do the passenger briefing.
May I have your attention, please?
There we go.
Welcome aboard the Citation CJ4 aircraft. Your flight crew will make every effort to make.
We have more changes that we are prepping to hand off to our testers, and we'll pass those along to you once they're tested. We are also beginning to map out unveiling our next 30 exciting times ahead. Thank you for your overwhelming support with D6. Ah, pretty cool, isn't it? We have more changes that we are prepping to hand off. Is that changes to the DC6 or is that changes to something else? We're also beginning to map out unveiling our next release. Well, that'll probably be the 737, right? It has to be. Yeah, has to be. Must be. But it will probably cost like absolute fortune as well. So. I'm still waiting for the freeware one. I think freeware 737 to start off with, and then if I really like it, like really like it, then I'll go towards the EMDG one. You think it tests? Yeah, it makes sense, but like, I don't know how big their team is. Like, would they have put everyone onto the DC6 and then they're moving in onto the 737 now, or is the 737 been in development like in tandem with the DC6? I don't know. It will be worth the fortune. But I'm sure it will be. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure that like for the quality of product, it's worth every penny. But too much for me at first when I don't actually know how to fly a rig 737, sorry, on a good day, let alone a study level one. So let's get the right engine booted up here.
Because of the possibility of unexpected turbulence, please
Legendary. How much is the Legendary edition? You told me it was like £3. It's oh, okay, right, okay. So it has been tandem development. That's good then. I guess now they start moving their team over towards, like, everyone who was doing the DC6 moves over towards 737 though, maybe. And they're preparing like to map out beta for it, so maybe it's coming sooner than before. I was said to believe Q3, but you know, Q3, well, actually not far away anyway. Like, you've got end of July, August, and then you're in September, and then you're in Q3. So oh, £6, right? Or it's like double the price. That's 200%. God. I assume you have a few teams. Yeah, they're working on a 747 as well, and a 777. Didn't know that. I did not know that. Right, let's call for pushback, shall we? Let's move in here. I can now go to avionics on. Get my V-speeds, there they are. And we'll dial in the cruise altitude because there's no climate restriction on the star, because there is no star, or SID rather I should say. There's no climate restriction on the SID, so we can go straight for level 430. When we get back onto London's frequency, we'll probably get given vectors to climb to like an initial level, and then he'll guide me the rest of the way. But for now, we'll just say let's go all the way to flight level 430. And tug's connected, so I can release the parking brake and begin to push. There we go. Lovely. There's no one in that apron there, so I might as well just push back and start. We'll go right end backwards, so in the turn.
After exiting the plane by pulling downward on both red tabs. If the life vest fails to inflate,
we're on runway 02, so there's no need for the noise abatement procedure. It's just straight out.
For information on the location and use of fire extinguishers, as well as other emergency or survival equipment, refer to your passenger
Nice
briefing
again,
card
and still the speed on this push.
Thank you, and have a pleasant flight.
Okay, end of pushback. Right, passenger briefing's done. Let's whiz through the checklist then very quickly. We've done before engine start. We've done start. Now we're on to before taxi. So avionics are on. Climate control is at norm. Passenger lights are set to on. There we go. Trims, fine. Flight controls. Let's have a feel. Yep, feels good. Speed brakes are set to full. Yep. Flaps are going to be set to 15. Here we go. Hydraulic pressure is not modelled yet. I hope they do model it at some point. And I'm guessing that, like, is it modelled on the CRJ? Because I'm assuming that because it's the same avionics system, a checklist is like, at least some of it is the same. So you can do the hydraulics all through this. You have to tell me because I don't own the CRJ yet. Engineering anti-ice is as required. Don't need it, basically. Takeoff data is set. Avionics look fine. Everything's dialed in properly here. Actually, we need the altimeter. 1019, there we go. Avionics, yep, fine. Autopilot, we're going to cycle. On and off. Fuel damper off. Altimeter, I've just done. Pressurization, again, not modelled. ICAS continues to look fine. Everything's green, and aft dividers are latched. Now, taxi, exterior lights, nav, and taxi. Check, and then we can go. Cool. Let's do this then. I assume September, October, September. It would make sense. That seems like the most logical timeline. Anyways. Let's get this yoke in position, shall we? There we go. Whew. These are what they've said. 737 September, October, 777. Wow. 777 is not far off then, is it? And then 747 Q2. That's a long way off. That 747 is a long way off, but the 777 is not far. That's quite reassuring. Seeing as it would be good to have a long range, like a seriously long haul aircraft, like the Dreamliner that actually works. Seeing as the base game Dreamliner is absolutely horrific. Anyways, let's go over to the chart view here a second, just to make sure that we're going to taxi all the way down to the very end, Alpha here. So. Not there. Usually you go on there for obviously runway 20, but we're going to runway 02 today. So back on the centre line. Okay. We have a longer. Don't use those words in my chat. I'm gonna get Moobot to censor them, so you cannot type the words Captain Sim into the chat. Like, it's just an immediate ban if you write those words in like together. Long haul. It probably takes longer to do a flight in the 777 than it did for them to actually make the damn thing. That's how long haul it is. Like the development wasn't long haul, was it? In Captain Scam. There we go. That sounds more like it. Right. Let's go down here because we're coming up to the runway entrance point. And as AT said, there's no air traffic coverage here at Southampton online at the minute, so we can go straight onto the runway after a quick radio call. Southampton traffic, Golf Hotel Echo India, lining up runway 02 for takeoff, Southampton. There we go, there's a radio call. Anyone who's in the vicinity now knows what we are doing. We can get rid of the charts and go back to the checklists. Now we're flying. No one else on the runway, nothing right, nothing left. Okay, fab. What was that? I've clicked something, I don't like it. First waypoint is runway 02, which is going to confuse the plane a bit because it thinks that's behind me. So we can just go in here and select direct to lorry. And now there we go, it's going to fix itself. It's more or less runway heading, so I'm going to go heading bug selected. Heading mode selected, sorry. Select the current heading, which is 021, and now we can continue continue the checklist. Remove, yes, more or less. Also add nothing inside.exe. Pretty much, to strip out those seats and put some boxes in. Right, rudder bias is not modelled. Seats are upright, flaps are set. Speed brakes are set correctly. Trim's set. Crew briefing is complete. TCAS can now come onto TARA. And we're going to squawk 2000 because we're IFR. Radar we don't really need, although I'll put on the traffic. I'll go memory 1 here. There we go. Bring back the radio sort of the space that I like. And we'll go traffic mode on. Okay. We've got one plane, looks like they're over sort of I don't even know where that is, like Wickham maybe. Anyways, radar set, GA button push, battery amps 20 or less, which we're currently reading 20, there we go. Ice protection as required, pitos on, exterior lights on, we need landing lights now and the strobe. ICAS continues to look all green. Now we can go for takeoff, so are we ready? Is everyone strapped in? Right then. Our V1 speed today is going to be 102, VR 103, so let's do it, shall we? To gently ramp up the throttle. There we go. That's us in the takeoff descent. Here we go. Coming up, there's V1, and let's rotate very gradually. And we're flying. There's the crosswind we talked about. Good. Gear up. And I'm going to come back into climb descent. Okay. Flaps can come up. And we're going to go autopilot on. There we are. Fantastic. Right then. Switch over to nav mode. Go again direct to Norway. Where is it? Oh, okay, it'll just find a heading. There we go. Lol, you forgot your baggage. Too late now, I'm afraid. You have to get it on the next flight. All the duty-free vodka's gonna have to wait in the departure hall. Someone else will find it, and I'm sure they'll have plenty of fun. Okay, climbing steadily. That's good. Let's begin to nose down a little on the trim. Down to about 8 degrees there, or 9 degrees. Okay. And at this point, I'll go back to the tuning page, and we're just going to wait basically until I get a ping from London to say, please contact me. I don't know at what point the boundary is, if it's not, because I thought it was out over the channel, but obviously I was wrong, so. Get on the next flight, jump out. Not like that, that's not what I meant. Right. Don't me if I'm wrong. Is that the golf course at Popham there? No, we're still way north of Popham, aren't we? So way south of Popham. But like, you know, there is a golf course there, and that looked like it could have been it. Anyways, continuing the climb. There is not a cloud in the sky this evening in the south coast. There's some over there, but nothing near us. So that's making for some lovely weather. Unfortunately, it's not making for so much for my frame rate, which is currently going down the toilet. Maybe that's a bit of an exaggeration, it's not going that badly, but anyways, nearly at 240 here, so we'll go to flight level change mode. If I can press the button, there it is. Dial that into 240. Plane correct itself, and there we go. When I see no clouds, I expect lightning. Unfortunately, that's become a common symptom, hasn't it? This simulator. Anyways, lovely takeoff. There's the runway behind us. Say goodbye to the south coast, everyone. Come down and turn off the landing lights. And we've got 24 miles to Norway. You can see, look at how much traffic there is here at Heathrow. That is a lot of traffic. But nothing to be immediately worried about. This guy here is, well, he's quite a bit higher than me, but I think I'll be higher than him by the time I get to Norway, and he's going to be out of my way anyway. So, nothing to worry about there. We're above transition altitude, so we can go to standard pressure. There we go. 1013. You have much to learn. You do have much to learn. You know what? It's never too late, and we'd love you to join in and get a copy of Flight Sim and come and see what it's all about. See what it's all about. I know you want to. I know you see how fun this is. a nice sort of recreational activity. Some music on, shall we? This plane's are noisy, man. Right, I'm gonna turn down the pilot side fan just so we can get a bit more volume. Make the air a bit cooler for the cabin so they're not sweltering back there. This cabin, the pilot fan can come down. The one thing it needs is I agree. It seems that quite a lot of people though, especially like the ones who are more sort of veterans to the community, are quite confused about why you'd even want one of those, but I think it makes perfect sense. Like if you're doing flight sim with the ambition of learning to be a pilot, like I know you are, Mr. Airbus, and I know I am, makes perfect sense to have an aircraft like that in the sim, because then you can like more practice in it, know what to expect when you get in the real thing. And also, like, the great thing about doing MSFS is that because the satellite imagery is so good, you can adequately prepare for a VFR flight, like, before you do it. Yeah, I don't know if you saw, like, they're doing a series of videos at the minute about, like, members of the community and why they play. They did one for Squirrel, who, maybe you've heard of Squirrel, maybe you haven't, but he's, like, a long-time simmer. I've been subscribed to him since I was, like, a kid. And he did a video explaining how he did a flight from North Weald, just north of London, to Lyd, in the simulator, and he took note of all like the visual reference points and the things that he was going to see along the way to keep track of where he was. And then he did it in the real world, because he's a qualified pilot as well, and it was like more or less exactly the same. Like he knew exactly what he was looking at, and that makes it very useful. Oh yes, he loves Spill. Good. Yeah, Spill is brilliant. I actually found him through some DayZ videos, like really old DayZ videos that were quite energetic, and then kept watching him for truck sim, and now I watch him for flight sim and truck sim, so there we go. Each terminology can be very confusing. Are you meaning VATSIM terminology? I mean, it makes sense of it. Yes, that's true. At least one person flies every type of plane. Although I don't think there's at least one person developing every type of plane, unfortunately. We're at 20,000 feet and we've still not had a ping from London, so maybe he's just not going to contact me. I don't know. I'm getting quite close to Heathrow's airspace though, so I'd have thought by now that like, if they were going to contact me they would, but clearly not. And all this traffic is below me, you can see it's negative, so I'm the highest aircraft in at least 50-mile radius. Nothing to worry about there, no issues of deconfliction or anything like that, so continue the climb. You have yeet, yoke, yoted. That's just the basic. Oh, yeet's terminology. Honestly, I'm not familiar with yeet's terminology. I know the word yeet itself, that's about it. I didn't know that you could have yote. Is that like yeet in the past tense or what? Anyways, we're nearly at Norrie. I want to go direct to something like, what is DTY? I forgot what DTY stands for, but yeah, I'm almost wanting to go direct to there, but because I don't know if London will give me a ping any second, it might be that I need to stick with the original track, so I think I'll just do that. I yoted it. Oh, blimey. What are we blimeying? Is it the yeet phraseology? The thigh is very important. We've come full circle, haven't we? When we live in a world where it's like super ironic to use like Shakespearean language, and then someone takes that and says, actually no, it's like mega based. It's yoted. Honestly, I thought you were talking about flight sim terminology, and I read yote and thought you went yoke, like a flight yoke. Wrong again. Anyways, let's zoom out a bit on the map here so we can see more. It's going to be quite a nice little flight today, actually. It's not too long, not too far to fly. Up to Howley, Silver, Finmer. What is DTY? I'm really struggling. I know that like BBK is Brooklands Park and Lamb is Lambourne, but if you know what DTY is, please let me know, because then this one TNT, that's Trent. I don't remember all the names of them. Yeah, Mr. Airbus, could you please find out what DTY stands for? Like, what is the name of that VOR station? The full name of it. That's your mission. I'm giving you an assignment. I would imagine Gatwick Tower. G Uzo requesting yeet off. I think you'd get banned from VATSIM for saying that. I mean, maybe not banned, but certainly you'd get some funny looks. some disapproving scowls on the network. Daventry. Oh, it's Daventry, right. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, I'm always tempted to redirect to Daventry, but because I don't know if London will contact me again, I think that's probably unwise. Just because then if he contacts me and says, okay, go direct to Finman, I'm like, I can't, I've already gone direct to Daventry. So we'll stick with the original plan. We'll stick with that. A great screenshot that, isn't it? Let's do a screenshot time. There we go. That's one for the books. One for the forums, maybe. One for the subreddit. The awkward conveys between a man and his ATC. It's not generally that awkward, although I'll tell you what was really awkward was the bloke who was giving me service in Southampton the other day. Not Southampton, Newcastle. Who, yeah, just didn't seem to know which plane he was talking to. He was giving me instructions for the other plane, and he was giving the other plane instructions for me. I'm just getting generally very confused. I was confused, he was confused. The poor old Cessna 172 was quite confused. When his flight's getting the Virgin Galactic. Oh man, I've got very mixed feelings about that. Like, on one hand, I'm an avid Kerbal Space Program player, right? So you'd think that I'd be all like, yeah, go, anyone in space is fantastic. But Richard Branson, got some strong feelings about him as a person. And they're not all positive, shall we say. Also, the way that like his stream was phrased was really like just exaggerated, I want to say. Like, the commentator was like beefing him up as if he was some kind of like, you know, master philanthropist and, you know, oh, he's going to save the world. And I don't have any doubt that in my mind that he is a philanthropist. Like, I'm sure he's done plenty of like good stuff for charity and whatnot, but pay your taxes, man. Stop trying to dodge your tax. Stop hiding your money in the Caribbean and pay your damn taxes. It's just basic courtesy. Like, we all do it, and we're making not billions of dollars. So you can do it too, Richard. Did it even go to space? It didn't. Yes. So the boundary for space, that's like the internationally recognised one, is called the Kármán line. The Kármán line is 100 kilometres above the surface of the Earth, and I believe that the Virgin Galactic ship only went to about 270,000 feet. So for instance, like, I'm cruising at 43,000, so it went about 8 times higher than my airplane will do today. Maybe a little bit less than that, actually. Yeah, about 7 times higher than my airplane, sorry. And so that would be in meters, probably about 80,000 meters, so it's actually not quite gone to space. But then what, again, really annoyed me was, on the stream they were saying like, oh, he's going to space, he's going to the edge of space, because they were literally just like making it up along as they went along and saying like, this space is actually here. Like, no, the internationally recognised boundary. That's wrong, guys. That's no one respects that. What actually is counts as space is what we say counts as space. And so Richard Branson today will go to space, which he didn't. And then when he landed, they were saying he's an astronaut. Like, congratulations, Richard Branson, you're an astronaut now. It's like, no, you're not. And also, that's just really like rude and disrespectful to like all the people who have gone through astronaut training, and it takes like years and years and years. So it really annoyed me, like irrationally so. Anyway, I've had a ping from London Centre now, so it's going to be 132.6 different frequency. Let's tell him what we're up to. London, good evening, Golf Hotel Echo India. Currently flight level 330, climbing for flight level 430 at cruise, routing to Finma.
Golf Hotel Echo India, London, thank you. Squawk 0376.
0376 for Golf Hotel Echo India. 03.
London Centre, Easy 983 is going to be with you, flight level 330.
There we go.
Easy 983, London Control, descend for Appleton 280.
Why does space have different shapes and heights? Well, it depends where you put it. Like, there's no set boundary.
Good evening, Austrian 4 Delta, climbing through flight level 80 for flight level 180, heading 110.
At what point does it become space?
Austrian 4 Delta, Lima, London
It's the
Control.
points at which, you know, the atmosphere is negligible or non-existent. But the thing is, like,
Golf Bravo November Oscar
there are
Romeo,
gases as
London
high
Control,
up as
climb
like
level
1,000
260,
kilometres.
direct
There are
Welling.
gases as low as 1 metre, so it's like you could draw the line in theory like out into perpetuity. Because you never, like,
Good evening,
you can
London
keep counting
Control,
to
VLA
infinite. You can count infinitely to 0. So you can always add another 0 to
0.0000001,
can't you?
descend flight level 160.
It's like a countable infinity or non-countable infinity. So yeah, it could go on forever. And but we draw the line at 100 kilometres because by that point, pretty much all the atmosphere is gone. So that's why. How many people died in space? I can Google it. I actually don't know that fact. Let's have a look, shall we? How many people have died in space? I'll tell you what, I've got a lot of respect for like the Soviet cosmonauts.
London, hello, 608 Delta.
18 people have lost their lives either while
Good,
in space
608 Delta,
or in
London, climb
preparation
level 290.
for a space mission. In
290
4 separate
to
instances.
608 Delta.
DHL
those
275,
instances
turn left
are-
heading 180 degrees.
The Challenger disaster, which we all know, killed 7 people, I think. Yes, all 7 crew members died. 2003 Columbia disaster, and then the other 2 were Soviets. So you've got Vladimir
Golf
Komarov.
Bravo November Oscar Romeo. I'm going to
He
reroute
died,
slightly redirect
because
Trent
the parachute
Tango
failed to open
November
on his
Tango.
capsule. So you can imagine he
Okay, direct
went through the
Trent
mission,
Golf Oscar Romeo.
re-entered the atmosphere, was coming down at about probably maybe a couple hundred meters per second downwards, and his parachute didn't open, so that's going to be a nasty thud. And the other one, I believe, died when he was re-entering because, yeah, here we go. In 1971, all 3 Soyuz 11 crew mission
DHL 275, turn left heading 180 degrees.
when the capsule
To left
depressurized
180
before
degrees
re-entry
right
on the way
now.
back home from Nancy's
Standby.
first ever stay on a space station, Salyut 1. There you go, so 2 Soviet missions and 2 American missions, but tragic, really. That being said, 17 is actually a very low number, or 18, I can't remember what it was. Considering that like hundreds of people have been to space, but still, 17 out of hundreds is still a reliability rate of only about 95%. Like, so still technically speaking, there's a 1 in 10 chance of you
We're
dying
going to have to log off, but thanks for the ATC. Bye.
in
Thanks,
space. But like the last death that happened in space was 2003. So we've gone, how many years is that now? 16 years? No, 18 years without a death in space. So there we go. Pretty a high number. You'd think, wouldn't you? But the thing is, like, there haven't been that many people who have been to space.
Under control, good
So,
evening, Austrian 452, flight level
like,
8.
throughout history,
80.
there were more lottery
Austrian
winners. There were more
4525,
billionaires than people who've
Berlin
been to
control,
space
direct
in all of human
Conan,
history.
climb flight level 290.
So, you know, it's like one of those things. It's like,
Direct Conan,
oh, you thought being a billionaire was uncommon. Well, there were less astronauts than billionaires. You know, it's like to be an
Austrian
astronaut
4
is
Delta
even
Lima,
better than
direct Conan, climb flight level 290.
Check Conan, flight
can
level
Google it,
290, Austrian 4 Delta Lima.
How many people
Easy 983, descend flight level 230, be level by
have been
Vatic.
to space?
553
553 people have reached Earth orbit, and then 500. So an additional 556 have reached the altitude of space. They were on suborbital trajectories, but 353 people have orbited the Earth. So I would count that as 553 astronauts, stroke cosmonauts, stroke spacemen, stroke spacewomen. So 18 out of 553. It's pretty good going, isn't it? But that's still, yeah, about 95% chance of survival. So a good 5% chance, 1 in 20 have died on a given space flight. But
Not yet.
the numbers getting better and better and
Okay, I
better
looked over
like throughout time.
452.
And I think there are more people in space now than there ever have been at any one point in all of human history. Like there's 10 or 11 people in orbit right now. I'm right in thinking maybe it's something like that. Going to space will get to the bottom of the Bermuda Trench. Definitely to space. Definitely to space. I'm sure you can send Rob down
DHL
to
275, turn left heading 110 degrees.
He's an animal art,
110
but I
degrees.
would
You head out to
love
standby.
to go to space. I'd absolutely love to.
983, good. Yeah, copy, just
Elon Musk
1
is an
minute.
astropreneur. He hasn't
Right.
actually ever said that he would fly on his own rocket. I mean, I'm sure he would if he was like if he wanted to, but he's more interested in making business decisions and doing engineering. Like he's just genuinely an engineer who turned like billionaire by accident. Yeah. To be honest, he's only really a billionaire because the stock market went a bit crazy last year of Tesla, which, as again, you know, I'm not complaining as a happy Tesla share owner. Not complaining, but yeah, he's a billionaire through circumstance. I wouldn't say he's actually like. I don't think Tesla's valued really correctly. Massively overvalued if you go by conventional means of like evaluating what a stock's worth. But again, not complaining. So there we go. I hate it when that happens. Becoming a billionaire by accident. Well, yeah, but like. The funny thing is, like, there are billionaires like Bill Gates, and people hate them because he's a billionaire, like, just by virtue of the fact. Whereas, like, Bill Gates gives loads of money to charity, doesn't he? He's like a major philanthropist. And so
Steward,
is,
correction, DHL 275, turn left
what's the
heading
one's name
090
I'm
degrees.
thinking of?
090 degree, you head out to standby.
I can't remember.
Austrian 452, contact Brussels 131.1.
Like I say, I think Branson was a bit of a
131.1
philanthropist as well, so he gives a lot of money,
yeah.
his money away. Musk, I don't know what he does for charity, if anything. Of
London,
course,
good evening. Please stay
the thing is, like, he's not really a billionaire. This is what, like, grinds my gears. is
Steward 7, London Control, hello, it's Kiddly on Golf.
Oh, damn it, bankers, I don't think it's. Well, that's the thing. He's like his bank probably. He's
Really want
probably a
coffee?
millionaire, but like those billions are tied up in assets. Like, you can't just sell it all tomorrow and walk away with like £1 billion in cash. That's just not how the money works. That's not how the world works. And so when I see people who are saying like, oh, Elon Musk could fix all of world hunger tomorrow if he wanted to, but because he isn't because he's a greedy capitalist and he's not into his money, he's evil. It's like, no, you can't. You've got absolutely no understanding of how the world works.
London, climb level 290.
Stop talking. Stop.
EC983, you back?
Annoys me.
Yep, I'm back for EC983.
EC983, contact Brussels 131.1.
131.1, that's what it's today.
Altitude.
Oh, we're at altitude, there we go. Not sure where to go, we're well north of London now, north of Daventry, coming up on Trent. And we're going to be sort of level with Manchester and Liverpool laterally. Pretty happy with my negative £7 balance. Pretty sure if all problems could be solved, they'd be solved by now. Yeah, that's true. People are saying like, okay, for all of Richard Branson's flaws, there are people saying like, oh, Richard Branson shouldn't be going to space when, you know, we're in the middle of a pandemic. We're in the middle of a pandemic and people are dying in India because they can't get access to oxygen or whatever, but meanwhile, billionaire Branson's going to space.
DHL 275, turn left, heading 020 degrees.
So why are you suggesting that we can never make any progress as humanity until every single problem has been fixed? Because if that's what you're saying, then you're bonkers. Like, if we
Golf, Bravo, November, Oscar, Romeo. When ready, descend for level 200.
Then we'd never like.
When ready, descend for level 200.
Because there are still people in Africa, right, who starve, and it's horrible and sad. But like, we have to progress as a society and make technological strides. You know, yeah. Maybe that's a controversial take. I don't know, but. Lovely view up here, mate. I'm guessing that's Birmingham, right? Yeah, that's Birmingham Airport down there. So we're probably over East Midlands now, right? We're getting close to East Midlands Airport. Yeah, there it is. There's East Midlands, and then Donington Park race circuit right there.
Austrian 4 Delta Lima, contact Brussels 131.1.
Brussels 131.1 there, Phoenix time, Austrian 4 Delta Lima.
There's always going to be problems, but you can't hold forever, exactly. Exactly, Mr. Airbus.
DHL 275, you're turning incredibly slowly. I assume you have a bank limit on. Can you start turning faster, please?
Oh dear, poor airplane. He's been told off.
Negative.
Anyways, we can go seatbelts off now, so we cruise.
We need to turn back before we turning faster.
What do you need to do before you turn faster?
We need to do the fuel pump before we can turn in faster.
I'm missing that word. You need what before? Say slowly, please.
I think he's saying a fuel pump. I have no idea. If I was this controller, I'd be like, not annoyed, just really confused at this point. Anyway, let's get the METAR for Franklin. Let's go. He says, we need to fuel dump before we can turn. Okay, you can't see that because it's on VATSIM, but he's typed in DHL 275, we need to fuel dump before turning faster over. Right. We're kind of heavy here. Fair enough, actually. If we need to dump fuel, we can't turn, you can't land. Anyways, METAR for Dundee is... zoom in on that, shall we? Whew. Okay. 14th of July at 1820 Zulu.
Speedbird 1010, climb for level 310.
Wind 260 at 14. Knots, visibility 10 kilometres, a few clouds at flight level 040.
Descend for level 150 to be level by Kidley.
Temperature 21, dew point 14.
Descend 150, level by
QNH 1017.
Golf Bravo November Oscar, room, contact London 133.7.
Okay,
Control
that's all set. Fuel pump, greater turning circle.
London Control, hello, Tomjet 17 Delta, passes through flight
Similar
level
word really, isn't it? Sounds the same.
Tomjet 17 Delta London, climb flight level 330.
Let's go approach, and we'll put that in. So
climb flight level
wind was
330,
260 at 14. That's a strong wind, isn't it? Its outside air temperature is 21. Well, actually, that's not really a strong wind, but you know, it's stronger than what we work with on the south coast, generally speaking. It's get windier wherever up in Scotland. QNH 1017. And in terms of
Golf Hotel Echo India, contact London 133.7.
133.7 for Golf Hotel Echo India. that in. And we're on the frequency.
Gary 681 London.
Wait for London to
Gary 681.
finish talking.
Turn right 200.
Alternate stays in
clear the ILS.
Manchester, but we're not going to need it. We're absolutely fine cruising along here. Come back
Control
into
Golf, Australia, ready to check.
boost T10 as well. For, there we go. Boost power set. We had two people speaking over each other there, so I'm going to wait for contacting. No one's talking. Right, let's go for it. London, good evening. Golf, Echo India, flight level 430, 10 miles from Trent. Well, I contacted him, so that's a check in my book. Right. Yes, departure. Here we go. Right. So if we're going to be dealing with a 260 wind, it's going to be runway 27. And we've got RNAV or visual, so I might as well put the RNAV approach in. See what that's all about. No transition needed, I don't think. We'll execute. Let's go into charts and have a look at that approach, shall we?
Control Golf, Bravo, November, Oscar Romeo, ready to check.
Oh, it's an RMP. Yeah, RNAV RMP, similar, same thing. Right, that's really good then. Because I'm going to do a tutorial flight on RMP approaches on Sunday, which you'll see. Saturday, which you'll see at the end of this stream on the end credits. But I guess we're going to have to fly an RMP today as well, so that's convenient in some ways. Let's see. So we come in here to IBFIM, 1,800 feet, and then to Papa November 27 India. Let's just check this on the legs page. This is continuity. Right, here we go. Clear that. So Edinburgh, and then we're EN27 India. Yeah. Well, I need to go to IBVIM, don't I? IBVIM IBVIM. There we go. IBVIM, then Papa November 27 India, and then 27 Foxtrots, and then the runway, and that's it. Cool. And at this point here, I'm going to intercept my glide path. Here, at 27 Foxtrot. Manages to be 2,500 feet, so let's just check the altitude to 2,500 or above. I'm going to change that just to 2,500. Let's be at the altitude for Foxtrot. Let's be at it for India as well. Let's just make sure we're at the right altitude by the time we're at India. And then by IBVIM we should be 2,800. 2,800 IBVIM. There we go. Now we can execute. Get rid of the charts. And we're going to be descending around about Shap. There we go. Anyways, I've never did ALT. Alt? Oh, you've not put the altitudes in the thing, like here. So you don't need to. But the benefit of doing this is that then when you get your advisory VNAV to program where the top of descent is, it will like calculate top of descent based on where your first altitude restriction is. So by putting 2,800 in IBVIM there, it's saying, okay, top of descent needs to be there then, doesn't it? It's Shap. Whereas if I change this to like, I don't know, 10,000, for example, now it's going to put that top of descent much sooner. Zoom out a bit. Yeah, you see now it's like way back here. Because I don't need to descend so quickly to get down to that altitude, so it's changing my VNAV recommendation. There you go, it moved again down there to Shap. You see, it's moving it around. So that's the benefit of putting those restrictions in. Usually, if you've like programmed a star, like then it will put all the altitude restrictions from the star into the thing, so you don't need to worry about it, and it will just do it all automatically. But since there is no star today, and I'm on an RNAV approach, I'm doing that manually. And also, IBVIM wasn't in the flight plan, so needs to be added just as a sort of precautionary thing. I didn't need to. I could just get to the waypoint I was going to, but then it would be like a massive like bank turn to get onto the final track for the runway. So if we can avoid that, we will. I've used Alpha VNAV. Oh, you never needed alternate airport. I see. I thought you were meaning like altitude restrictions from here, but yeah. Well, there you go. There's an explanation of altitude restrictions on the what is this? PFT, MCDU, flight computer FMC, whatever you call it. The thing down there. I just call it the flight computer because it's more generic. Anyways, past the River Mersey, there's Liverpool. Liverpool Airport. I think that's Liverpool anyway. Somewhere around here, isn't it? Because that's the Mersey. And then when you fly in VFR, you have to do like up the Mersey basically. And then there's Manchester down there on the left. Been a pretty nice stream actually. I've enjoyed this. Excited for performance update. God, aren't we all? Who wouldn't be excited for like an extra 100% frames per second? Like the day I can fly this plane and get 60 FPS with like high settings at 1080p would be pretty good. Or even just to be able to get like a high frame rate at medium settings with 1440p would be amazing as well. If I can get 6% boost on the A320X, yeah. Did you see that the A320, which is being made by Phoenix Studios or FENIX, like Phoenix, they're saying it has a higher frame rate than both the fly-by-wire one and the base game one. Of course, the difference being that the Phoenix one, as I've now discovered, is not an A320 Neo. It's not the new engine option. It's the current engine option, so the older version. But like, yeah, you already get 45 FPS on Ultra. All right, shove off. Time for a new PC, Mr. Airbus. Yeah, new PC time. 45 FPS on Ultra is not enough. New PC time. Can't wait for that. Is it going to be payware or freeware? I'm guessing it's payware, right? But then, like, I don't see. I really struggle to see how Phoenix are gonna make their money because, like, sure the hardcore simmers will buy it, but then like you need to sell a lot of them surely to make it worth your time. And if there's already an A320 in the base game, as well as a high fidelity freeware, then like how many are they going to sell exactly? You know, it is payware. Yeah, I'm sure you'll end up buying it because you love that, like the Airbus, but I genuinely don't see where they're going to make how they're going to make enough money on it. It would have been much safer for them to build a 737 or to build, like, say, an Embraer. Or even, like, what's the other one that's in circulation, like some Bombardier. Like, we need a Dash 8. Someone make a Dash 8 so we can fly out of Southampton and take it to Jersey. That'd be a lovely stream to do. Or even an ATR 200 or 700, I can't remember the number, but, you know, one of those, please. Are we actually on the right frequency here? Oh yeah, we are. Okay, London Centre locked out, so we're going back to Unicon, boys. 122.8. Nothing on the traffic display. So, I don't believe that somehow. If that's to be believed, then it means I'm the only aircraft at this altitude within like 100 miles. Which, looking at Volanta, I'm not. Yeah, it could be. Bear in mind that like these jets cruise higher than conventional airliners, so, and I think this only reads like aircraft that are up to 7,000 or above or below. The 7,000 below me right now would be flight level 360. Which, I mean, yeah, I should really be picking up on some airliner traffic, but maybe I think it's maybe it's 3,000 feet. Maybe it's 10,000. Look, it's negative 98. Oh, I don't know, man. Pretty short. Looking at VATSIM, that is a Logan Air flight from Edinburgh to Heathrow. There says 757. This little dot here. Don't want much. I need the Pier 28, Archer 3, Dash 8, 1918, scenery for Solent, Goodwood. BB, is that Birmingham? I think there already is a scenery for Birmingham, isn't there? I'm sure there is. And also the ERJ family, 737, 777, and A321. Yeah, I mean, that's not a massive list, is it? Oh, God. Surely when there's that many like Piper aircraft on the market, you get support for choice though, right? Like when it comes to actually fly one, you don't know which one to pick. Anyways, looks like we're at cruise speed here. So keep an eye on the throttle, we might be needing to adjust that in a sec. Oh, dear. Loads of towers online, let's see. Got Catwick Tower, Golf Whiskey, is that Bristol or Cardiff? Golf Juliet, that's Jersey, CC is Manchester. Both of Heathrow's towers. Eham, that's Schiphol, isn't it? And Dublin. Got lots of choice for Frequencies tonight if you're flying, haven't you? Goodness. No swatches sent today, unfortunately. Oh, and an Icarus. Oh, and a Warrior. Oh, and Jersey. It's gonna be your night, isn't it? Oh, and I want this. Oh, and one more thing. I want that. Except for that other. Yeah, not that. Well, not one more thing. This is the other one more thing. I want that thing. Oh, and that thing. Just those. Oh, and that one. That one, yeah. Jersey scenery would be nice though. I'm sure that it's on the way. Jersey's too popular of an airport to not have scenery. And Edinburgh. I believe I read the other day that someone's working on Edinburgh scenery. Hold on. Everyone says that the freeware version on Flight Sim Tier is really good, but I don't actually like it. Okay, there is one coming. Huey announces Edinburgh Airport. And plus, like, if you've seen the pictures of it look amazing, man. Let's quickly get Google Chrome up here. Bear with. Property. Yeah, look at this. Look at the quality of these interiors, right? That's like high fidelity. Looks really good. They've even done the lounge. This is the gate, obviously. Departures and domestic. It just looks really well modelled, like really nice. This is like, bear in mind, this is still in dev. It's a nice looking EP. It is, isn't it? It looks gorgeous. I think this is definitely going to be a buy when it comes out. You've even got the Weatherspoons. There's your EasyJet. EasyJet next to the pub. That's what you'd expect, really, isn't it? But yeah, this looks really, really good. I'm excited for that. Have they said when it's going to come out? The airport satellite imagery is sourced from 2016, but the new Southampton terminal expansions are included in this product. There you go. That's why it looks so weird on the chart versus the game. Because the satellite imagery is so old. Anyway, rid of that. Why have I got two versions of what? Going? I cannot. Oh, okay, there we go. I had two versions of Chrome up on my Streamlabs. Delete that one. There we go. Action of Flight. Also got Fly Live overlay here. It's not booted up. Let me do that quick. Completely forgot about it. To be. Most of us has nice. Doesn't indeed it does. Create new, basic and elegant. Okay. And then use. Copy. Done. There we go. Dashboard. We are starting EGHI, going to EGP, N, sign Golf Echo India. Okay. There we go. Boom, we're in business. Whew. Anyways, let's see. We're getting close to the top of descent now. We're like maybe 12 miles away. Main 5 aircraft, I want. You want T1 Hawk flying out of Solent? You're optimistic. What's a Robinson R44? I've never heard of that one before. The other four I know, but not a Robinson 44. What is that? Fill me in. And the cheeky BB scenery. Oh, burning blue scenery. Oh, that's what you meant, BB. Bournemouth. Bournemouth is EGH. H, I believe. Double H. Yeah, you do have Birmingham already. It's a helicopter. Look up OK LTM. Okay, I'll do it once I hit top of descent here because we're coming up on it and I don't want to tab out now. Not long to go. Okay, so we're going to arm VNAV and we're going to set descent down to 2,800, which is the initial descent altitude. So 2,800 feet by whatever it was called. Forgotten already. Let's see, Dex. This one, IBVIM. 2,800 by then. So Any second we're going to capture top of descent and we're going to start coming down. And I need to then carefully adjust the throttle so as not to overspeed immediately on the descent here. So here we go. Nearly there, it's 21 sharp. And as soon as it says path is captured, here, when it turns green, there we go. Path is captured so we can begin to ease throttle back. And my speed should remain constant. If we've done this right. There we go, look at that, it's a work of art. That takes some serious skill. Right? T1 Hawk took off and landed it. Seriously, why don't I know these things? If I'd known that, I would have gone and see it. But actually, no, I wouldn't have done because I didn't know that there was a viewing area back then. But like, I would have tried to spot it at least. Damn, that's so cool. And I literally had no idea. So there we go. What I want to do is get the Hawk just specifically so I can take off for Maria Fally and do like the Mach loop in it. That should be so much fun. But I'm going to need a stick rather than this yoke. Because it's going to be really weird with that. Anyways. Now I've got the map again. Bit more throttle. Crank it. Currently we're burning 68 kilograms an hour of fuel. You've got over 700, so not in immediate danger of blowing it here. Actually, I think this is a lie. I think it's probably way more than 68, but that's not changing for some reason. That's not anyway. Okay. We did all the after takeoff and landing checklist. We did the cruise checklist. Okay, descent. So pressurization is fine. Ice protection is not needed. Altimeters are still set to standard. Exterior lights are as required. Great. Over to approach. Landing data is selected. Crew briefing. We'll do that now. Landing. Avionics and instruments are, well, they're not set yet, but we'll come to that. Actually, no, they are set. Set. Minimums. Minimums, that's a good point. I forgot about those. Let's see. Standard straight and approach. Decision altitude for, let's see. Decision altitude standard LPV versus LNAV. I don't know the difference, to be honest with you. But the runway elevation is, let's see, 17 feet above the ground. It's basically at sea level, isn't it? So we'll go with this one, 434 for category A, I think that is. Yeah. By the way, DA means decision altitude and H is height, so height. Our decision altitude will be 434 feet. Now, we can't do radar altimeter, so it's going to have to be barometric. This plane is not certified for radar altimeter minimums, so we'll select that and we'll scroll it up to 440. There we go. So minimum set. Go to that checklist. Oops. Check fuel transfer is not. I think it's off. Yeah, it's off. There we go. Exterior lights is required. Ice protection is not required. Laps 15. Okay, we'll come back to that when time comes. So let's continue this. Let's get a bit more throttle on as well because we've dipped the speed quite a bit. Anyways, we missed it by 10 minutes. I want to get the Hawk and 9 fence for pressure red out. Unfortunately, it doesn't include fence. Fortunately not. Fortunately not. But I'm more than happy to do like a red arrow stream, like a formation flying stream. That'd be quite fun, I think. We can get loads of people who've got the Hawk together. Oh yes, manual cache. What about manual cache? You found files. What files? What files? Fill me in. Anyways, while you do that, I'm going to look for this R44. Robinson. R44. Oh, it's that thing. Oh, okay, yeah, I've seen this before. Huh. Like proper dinky little helicopter that you can learn to fly. Is that a 4-seater or 2-seater? I'm guessing it's 4. Looks like it's 4 seats. Well, I guess a helicopter, like, it gives you more freedom, right? Than a plane, because you can land it wherever you want. Okay, LTM. Isn't it okay? Like, that's a Finnish call sign. Over owner. Robinson Raven 1. Bembridge to Lasham, Bembridge. Do you have a picture of it? Let's. Yeah, I know this. I know this. I'm pretty sure that OK is like the registration code from Finland, so long way to fly that thing to get it over here. Christ. Bit more throttle. Let's come down a bit faster, shall we? It's like my fuel flow is now refreshed itself 228 gallons or kilograms an hour, so that's fine. We can fly for hours like this. And unfortunately, despite this being a VATSIM stream, there is no slot sensor, so it looks like it's going to be Unicom all for most of the way. We had ATC for maybe like what, 10 minutes? It is in Hangar 9 at EGSF Dundee. I see. How do you know these things, dude? Like, you know where everyone flies and who owns every aircraft and where they all hangar them. Like, should be the airport manager. So clearly, you know everything that they already know. So, like, unironically as well, when you get out of college, go and like try and find some work experience down there. Say to them like, I want a Sunday job or a Saturday job. I'm sure they'll give it to you. Show an interest, and you're young and whatnot. They'll be more than happy to help you out. So, these clouds are lovely. Obviously, it's gotten cloudier since we came north of the border. Look, I know where planes live. Should we do another check of the METAR just to be sure? Index, data link, weather, west, send, oops, weather, view, EN, and that is a new. It's a new METAR port. Okay, the wind is now 260, 15 knots. Hasn't really changed. It's 1 degree colder, and the QNH is the same. So I'm not going to bother updating the approach plate for that because it's pretty much the same. What's it got? Progress. I haven't really looked at many of these pages before. I've used the whole page like once, but so I'm now 3.1 away from InRev. Going to Escado, then Indoor. And I'm still 93 track miles from Edinburgh. So there we go. Currently flying into a headwind of 18 knots. Oh, we're overspeeding. Throttle back. So headwind of 18 knots. The wind measurement that the plane's taking is 314 at 21 knots. That's pretty interesting. Or is that 314 like Mach? There's an M there. No idea that's like Mach decimal 3.13 or... I'm guessing it isn't. I think that's just 315 degrees, right? Maybe. M for measured. Maybe. 21 knots though. There you go. So actually. Crosswind left 9 knots. So not really much, is it? And air temperature is negative 24 degrees. True airspeed 430 knots. There you go. Pretty cool. Precision accuracy 0.06 of a mile. Close. Good. What else have we got? Status. World data. Active world data. That's the current AIRAC, isn't it? Time, date, program. Model, variance. Maximum takeoff weight, engines. Database. We'll have these things. VR DME control. What is that page for? GNSS control. Wow. What's that? Cabin lights off. What does that do? Does that mean this doesn't turn on? No, it doesn't. What does cabin light do? Maybe it's like the head torch you have when everything else is turned off. Metric measurements. FP sync. Not sure what that means actually. Hide the yoke. No. That's our sources from VATSIM. not from Flight Simulator. 80 sources from VATSIM. Data link processing time, instant. We'll make it 15 seconds actually. I didn't know you could change that, but that's pretty cool because otherwise it does seem a bit weird that like every single time the meta comes back immediately. Anyways, you're doing PA28 2 today, really good fun. Good. It's going in 50-hour check, but because of EGHF, they're down at an engineer. I'll take it to watch to where Golf the whiskey is, as there is a plane. Plane to take and a plane to return. So what, they're going to fly 2 planes out there, and then the other pilot will hop in the other plane and fly back together in one. It's handy, I suppose. Anyways. What's the transition altitude at Dundee?
Edinburgh traffic,
I guess there isn't one really, is there? Because of you know, it's not controlled airspace. It's just a regular ATZ.
Edinburgh traffic, trouble line 9 Charlie.
No traffic to be seen on the radar. So, like someone's just departed from Glasgow. J plane. Nothing. There's literally no VATSIM traffic over Scotland right now, so that's nice. I've got the whole country to myself. No, fly BUJP out. BOJW is already there for 50 hours, but it's done now, so they can fly. Oh, I see, they get right. That makes sense. Given that you've got to fly all the way there, it's like a lot of fuel to burn just to do a 50-hour check. It probably takes them about an hour and a half to get it there in the first place, so. The irony. And then how are they going to get back there when JW's done then? Drive? Or they're going to have to like fly a plane out there, drop a pilot, and then both of them fly back? Planes? It just seems very complicated. Maybe it's JP. Not like it's been sent to the scrapyard, calm down. Just going for its 50 hour. Dear lord. Right. Anyways, so that's pretty cool. So if I go to data link, weather, request, send. Should take 15 seconds to return a result. See, received. There we go. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I didn't know you could change that. There's the meta. Okay. Cool. Other interesting things have we got here? Database disk ops not active, defaults not active, arrival data. That's pretty handy. Light slope angle is. I'm not going to touch that actually. I'll touch it another day. On threshold 9 feet. That's where it's got that information there. Frequency. We don't have a frequency because we're on our what's the word? RNP. It's all done by GPS. No frequencies involved. Route menu. Secondary flight plan option. We're getting there. Like, it's not quite study level at this aircraft, but we're getting close to that. And it's pretty. Like, there is enough system stuff to make it much more interesting than it would have been with the base game model. Anyways, looks like we're actually going to fly straight through a gap in the clouds here. That's pretty cool. Imagine when DLW is done, they will take Bravo Romeo Hotel Alpha as they're always one warrior down. Not a great state to be in, is it? I mean, have they got like 5 or 4? I think it's 4 warriors and 1 archer, isn't it? So hardly a bad position to be in either. Has the archer got a fixed pitch prop, or is it variable RPM? Like, does it have a blue lever basically, or is it just the black and the red? Oh, the maintenance EGH maybe back then, so they'll have to take it and hold it over. No RPM for the archer. Okay. Interesting. I didn't know. Okay. Ooh, over Edinburgh. I can't see it, but we must be over Edinburgh if that's the 4th rail bridge there. We're literally right on top of it. Yeah, we are actually. EDN. Edinburgh VOR. Off we go. Carrying on the descent. Nearly there now. Nearly there. Got to start pulling my speed back actually, because we've only got 3,000 feet until we're at 10,000 feet, and then I need to be at 250 knots to left, don't I? So, pull this power out, get down to 250 knots. The Archer is much more spacious. But you said it was the same airframe, so... If it's the same airframe, how can it be more spacious? Or has it got like more seats? Is it like still a 4-seater or is it 6 seats in the Archer? The same, but it feels more spacious. See, I don't understand how that can be, but maybe I'll find out on Friday. We'll see. Maybe. Couldn't possibly comment, could I? It seems it looks really good. I remember flying over here when they did midweek Madness at Aberdeen, and I came over in the Robin DR400, and there were like literally just planes queuing out of your ears to try and get a landing slot, like all airliners and private jets and whatnot. And then here's me like in a dinky little Robin that's like, please can I land? And they maybe hold out over the sea for about half an hour, like just doing circles before they would find like, okay, yeah, come on in, we'll give you a landing slot. And then there's me coming to land with my tiny little airplane that's like landing at about 70 knots, and then there's like planes behind me that are landing at like 130 knots, and you just get that sense of like, oh, everyone's waiting for me. I feel really bad. Never mind. Like you come into land and you can see that there's literally like, I'm not even joking, like 7 A320s lined up ready to go, and then there's you holding them all up in a tiny dinky little 2-seater plane. It's like, awkward. Anyways, there we go, 10,000 feet. We can bring the speed up a little bit more so we don't pull out the sky completely. Sending out at 1,300 feet a minute until we get to that waypoint there. We get Ibthim, 21 miles to go until we're there. And Dundee should just be up that river estuary. There we go. Also, the magneto and lights, fuel pump, etc. on an above head panel. Oh, okay, interesting. Yeah, please do put the photos in Discord. I'd be keen to see them, actually. I would love to see them. So, another 6,000 feet to descend or so. Holding the speed nice and steady here around 230, 240. And then once I get to that altitude, we need to really be thinking about flaps then. So, but the one bad thing about VNAV is that it doesn't give you time really to put in your flaps because you're descending constantly. So, okay, back to checklist then. So we need to put flaps in, so we can't progress on that checklist. Oh, it's warm in this room, man. Really warm. Scotland sure does look pretty. Oh, it does today. If eventually a scenery developer does like a nice scenery for some Scottish GA fields, be it Burning Blue or someone else, I don't think it'll be Burning Blue because they like do south of England. Maybe. If someone comes along that does like loads of good GA airstrips in Scotland, route flight absolutely would be brilliant up here because there's so much like good terrain, mountains and valleys one to fly through. But yeah, the autogen airports just don't, like, I want to have a good reason to stream it, and if there's just autogen airports, then it's like a bit boring. Well, not boring, no, lie. Like, because the scenery is good enough to make the autogen airports fine, but I'd still like to find something crafted ones, if you get me. Obviously, we've got Barra, but like, that's like the fact, like saying that you've handcrafted Barra is a bit like saying that you've like, I don't know. You sculpted an ice cube by putting an ice cube out. Like, I've made an ice cube. Oh, well done. How did you do it? Well, I put some water in a tray. It's like handcrafted Barra. Wow, so you've made a beach. Well done, Asobo. Well done. Really proud of you. To be fair, the Barra scenery does look pretty good, but yeah, it wasn't like it was difficult for them to make, was it? Then they included what did they include? They did Land's End, Barton, Manchester, Barra. What were the other airports? Outskerries and Donegal was base games. What was the other one? Oh dear, give me a hand. Land's End, Outskerries, Barton, Manchester, Barrow. What was the 5th airport they did on that world update? Because I'm sure there were 5. I'm really struggling to think of the 5th. What do you think of that? We're at 5,000 feet. We're just shy of 200 knots. Just above 200 knots. And the runway, the airfield is, I think, nearly in sight now, right? I think that's it there. Like just before that bridge. Maybe. Maybe that's it. Actually, that's probably is it there, isn't it? Here. Now, for some reason, I'm aware that me mousing over this probably looks like I'm mousing over the sea for you. Or looks like I'm not even mousing over anything at all. But I think it's because I'm playing on ultra widescreen, but I'm streaming in 1080. It doesn't stretch the image, but like I've cut the ends off. But I think it does stretch the way that the mouse moves across the screen. So, me putting my mouse, that's like right at the edge of my screen. But I think that will appear differently for you. So, yeah, when I put my mouse in the game, it doesn't necessarily correspond to where it looks like it is on stream. That looks like a nice place to be. Is that like a golf course, or? It looks like it should be a golf course. Very pretty. Maybe it's like Trump's Turnberry. Trump's golf course. In that, I'm guessing, is an RAF base. Something like that, some kind of former airfield. Anyways, this comes down to idle power. And we'll get flaps 15 in now. A little bit more to go on descent. Dial in 2,500 now, because that's our next leg, right? Yes. So, we have 1,000 feet to go. Coming in nicely here at 200 knots. LPV term. I've not seen that before. What does LPV term mean? You never know. You never know. This is going to be my first ever look at Dundee. Because can confirm it wasn't solar. Yes. Got your pics in it now. Cool. I'll check later. Yeah, this is going to be my first time ever looking at Dundee. Bought the scenery and then never flew to it like an idiot. So, okay. One of the things that makes me like irrationally annoyed about the Orbeck sceneries in the UK is that like they're not classed as star airports. So on the map you can't see them obviously. Like what's great about all the burning blue ones is that they're all star airports. Like you can, at a quick glance, you can tell which airports you've got as the handcrafted ones versus not. And the Orbeck's ones aren't all star airports, so you can't tell until you zoom in which ones are actually the one. Like it would just be nice to be able to like just look at the map and see like loads of stars and be like, oh look at all these handcrafted airports. Yeah, that winds me up for some reason. So for me, like my Dundee airport on map screen isn't a star airport. Don't know why. Maybe mine's different to yours. Anyways, once we get onto this next waypoint, we're going to go into approach mode, and I'll show you a bit about how an IMP works for the Sunday stream, or the Saturday stream, sorry, when we go over IMP in more detail. How to fly an IMP. There we go. In turn. Get this speed steady here, just above 170 knots. Nice and low. Coming on this last little bit. There's the runway. Got 3 miles until the sort of first point at which we start actually like the initial descent. And for some reason the plane's overcorrected itself. Don't know why I did that, but never mind. Now we're actually quite far right of the track we should be on. Anyways, approach mode. And now you see it says GP. GP. So no, not glide slope, glide path. That's very important. If it was an ILS, it would be a glide slope. But for IMP, it's a glide path. And so basically, it functions in the same way as an ILS works. You're going to capture a glide path and it will guide you down to the runway at about 3 degrees slope. What is this? Is it 3 degrees? Yeah, 3.5 degrees out of the runway. So it works almost exactly the same as an ILS would work, but there's no actual ground equipment needed. It's all done by GPS. Which means it's great if you've got a small airfield, a small airfield that can't really afford to have big instrument landing systems like, I don't know, Shoreham, which has 2 IMP approaches on both runways, or both of the tarmac runways at least. which is really, really handy for them because it means that they can support night flying by having those 2 approaches, and they're very cheap to maintain because obviously there's no equipment on the ground they need to keep maintaining and no costs to pay. It's just a case of, I don't know how much it costs to keep a GPS satellite in the sky, but you know, maybe they pay a fee, I'm not sure. Anyways, so we captured glide path now, and you see it's not the diamond that we're used to, it's a little star, pink star, to show that it's a GPS, not a radio based signal, but it functions, as I say, very much the same as an ILS would. So coming down now, you can go flaps to 35. And for some reason, I never set my V-speeds to the computer, did I? Whoops. Approach. Send. There we go. Right. There's my V-speeds. I've installed AirVac 2106. I'm pretty sure I'm using it, yeah. Anyways. Let's now go to pressure. We want 1019 for Dundee. I believe that was it. No, it's 1017, sorry. There we go. Okay, minimums are at 440 feet. So, I suppose we're actually going a bit too slowly here. A bit more power needed, so keep us steady. Get rid of the charts. We'll go to approach checklist. Flaps are set. All this stuff is fine. Passenger safety's on. Landing light needs to come on now. Seatbelt should have been ages ago, but I forgot about that. Landing it down. Flaps 35. Speed brake 0. Airspeed VREF. Autopilot disconnected. And then, yeah, we'll do that in a second. So, here comes Dundee. Let's pause the music a second so we can focus on the landing. Small airfield. Yeah, for some reason my pronunciation went a bit skew-if there. Right. I'm keeping a very careful thumb on the throttle lever here. We've got some traffic off to our left. Apparently close range as well. He's just across the river. Oh, actually no, he's not. He's miles away, like 25 miles away. Did nothing to Wipeout Hill on the VATSIM. Doing a bit there. I get Ryanair vibes from seatbelts at 1500 feet. Yeah. This is a private jet. We can do whatever we want. Okay. I can just like literally turn back and go, seatbelts please. There you go. No need for any buttons or anything like that. None of that nonsense. Right, then let's go water pilot disconnect, then yaw damper disconnect. We are now just flying by hand. And I'm going to pull the throttle back a little more. Just lined up. Any second now should be minimums.
Minimums.
Okay, let's minimums continue. And a bit less throttle now. Down nicely, it looks like. A little low apparently, but I feel like we're too high. There for the final. It might have said. Let's see what the landing rate's going to be. Time to make your guess in chat before I arrive. It gives me a readout. Throttle idle. And now the plane will want to nose up a bit. That's it. Just want to actually like put it on flat. There we go. Wasn't my smoothest there. What was it in the end? Obviously I can't see my own overlay. No. Answer. 145, that wasn't great, was it? That was dreadful. Oh well. Can't have every single landing be a good landing. Have I just missed my turn off for the taxiway? I have, haven't I? We'll taxi to the end and then we'll do a 180. Ogden Regis Pier. That's pretty handy. When does that come out? That a new one, because the guy who makes all the piers, I was checking his profile the other day and he didn't have one, so make use of that at some point. Do a quick VFR over to see how it's looking. I might actually uninstall the Brighton photogrammetry because there are a couple of things wrong with it that I kind of got annoyed about. Mainly that there's a very clear line between the photogrammetry and the autogen, because the photogrammetry has obviously been taken on a really sunny day, and so it looks like really bright and obvious. Like it's a high contrast compared to the autogen, which is like you can't really get around it, I suppose, but it just looks really like off and wrong. So I don't like it. Here we are at Dundee then. Looks pretty nice so far. I mean, nothing obvious to report, but it looks very pretty. Should be like a in the passenger briefing there should be like a thanks for flying with us thing. I think that'd be really cool, but there isn't. So it would just be, you know, like we're here, get off. We're here, get out. Where's my chart? There it is. Menu, we want the airport now. And there it is. We'll go zoom in a bit. Just need to turn off for Charlie then. Right. Less power. But there's already a citation jet here. Oh no, that's like a Global 1000. It would be really nice if we could get like those massive private jets. Like, obviously this is quite a small one. But there are bigger private jets that have like up to 20-30 seats. Some people just didn't like use entire CRJ 500s as like private jets. So that's one of the reasons why I might buy the CRJ, just for that. But I kind of want to wait until the 900 and 1000 are out as well, so I can buy it as a full package if I do. Okay, we're tacked over the threshold. We want to ground now. Bigger parking spot. This looks very pretty, doesn't it? I'm liking what I'm seeing so far, Orbix. Oh. Riverside Inn. I could read it. That's good. If I can read the text, that's a good start. Nice if the Southampton text was like that, wouldn't it? I believe it's a 146. What, the aircraft here? Label 146. Got a Union flag on the back. Nicola Sturgeon wasn't very happy about that much. Playing with the Union flag at a Scottish airport, how dare they? Okay, that looks like it's my stand. A little bit more. A little bit more. Parking brake, and we're done. We're done. It's the Queen's plane. Oh. What's the Queen's plane doing in Dundee, I wonder? There's a royal visitors, right? Anyway, parts can come off, and let's go left engine off first. Axle light can come off. Belts and safeties can come off. Strobes off, navs off. Climate control off. Get rid of these master cautions. Light director off. Get rid of that too. .146 professional. Main version. It's pretty cool. Did I make it from SFS? Although to be honest, I don't like the high wing design of it. It looks a bit ugly. Like, aesthetically speaking, it looks a bit ugly. I'm sure it's a lovely plane, so whatever. Anyways, that's right engine down. Also left engine down. Let's do right engine now. Okay. Done. All done. Emergency lights can come. And hands back to normal. I think we're done here, guys. So, have a good stream. We'll see you on Saturday for RMP approaches, and maybe I'll make it a group flight. I'm not sure, but till then, see you in the next stream. Have a nice one. and goodbye.